Everywhere, I got messages saying, what's up with the show? One to where you still got kids writing essays on 472. Shout out to Chris, he came through, came back there. And you go, okay. And she said, okay, he done, he it's not money, baby. They don't need cash in their hands. Right. So now with the fucking regardless of the bank. You don't know. You don't know the fucking intentions. Attention now. What are people? Listen, I'm gonna take my son down here. Right. I didn't understand when I tried to conduct. Come on. And I'm talking about my in-law niece. My niece, I done bought her.
I was born in the same place I was, but they decided to move along. They traveled here.
I had a homeboy, and I'm thinking about getting the motherfucker down. I'm trying to hold out.
What's up, everybody? It's Say Something Sunday. The ladies edition, which is the women's perspective, plus LV as our guest today to combat what women really think. But to my right, I'm your host, Yo-Yo. To my right is Streets, best makeup artist in Omaha, Nebraska. To my left is LV, always talking that shit. But
always. Appreciate the invite, first of all. Appreciate the
You're
invite.
welcome. You're welcome.
I'm humbled. I'm humbled.
You should be.
Yeah.
So we want to get this Sunday started. We want to let everybody know that, watches us, follows us, shares our podcast, and just spread the word about what we do, who we are, what we talk about. And we really appreciate y'all. And this is the second Sunday of the year, is it?
It's frozen.
Are we froze?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, so this is the second Sunday of the year. I hope we hope everybody's New Year's resolution is continuing and nobody has messed up yet. But we do want to start with a question of the day. And that comes from one of our buddies, Shane Givhan. He wanted to talk about...
You don't want to talk about LeBron's...
Oh, yeah. So, wait a minute. We're going to backtrack that. So, first and foremost, we are asking our friends, family, and followers to support this GoFundMe. Our castmate, LaRon Smith, and my kid's aunt... they lost their home a couple days ago on 16th and Emmett. It burnt down, and it's not salvageable. It's a total loss. And they lived in that home for 56 years. So there were, many holiday dinners and, many family functions there. So it was like, the heart of their family. And so we have a GoFundMe going to raise at least $25,000 to kind of help them rebuild. And so I just wanted to mention that. And I do believe the link to the GoFundMe is in our chat. Happy Sunday, Shell. So I do want to talk to you guys about the question of the day. Comes from one of our buddies, Shane Givhan. So he wanted us to bring up the topic about women needing to realize that the music they listen to, how they take pictures, and who they date weighs heavily on their daughters. And so, like, if you're the type of mom that's always taking pictures, squatting down with your ass out, or you always got explicit music on, talking about, sucking dick, or you know what I mean, just hoeing, pimping.
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. He never came out and said he liked to pee on people in his music, but we do know what R. Kelly is about. But another thing too, I think a lot of moms do need to understand that there are certain boundaries that you have with your own adulthood versus how you influence your children. Mm-hmm. So there is, certain music and stuff that, when my daughter was little, I didn't listen to in my car, but she would hear from other places. But as she's looking to me, she's like, my mom don't really, let me listen to that. So I'm thinking that there are some stipulations to what is being said in this music. So she kind of grew up a little bit different, and she never really seen me, turning around, sticking my ass out, when it was time to take pictures and stuff like that. always took pictures face forward, but and as far as like the men that I have dated, my kids never really met anybody until it was kind of, you know, a serious point to the relationship. They didn't meet only one person outside of their dad.
Okay. And that was...
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that was on purpose. Yeah, what do you think, LV? Do you think it's more on the women to watch the music that they listen to and how they take pictures or who they date, or should it be both ways?
What I think is that we are creating a generation of ungrateful, unsatisfiable individuals. And we're not perfect. We're flawed, just like anybody else. Mm-hmm. And so when we have to give off this persona that we're perfect and we're not flawed, then they expect more than we can give them. Don't expect nothing from me that you can expect from yourself. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm going to listen to rap music and these motherfuckers talking about gunning somebody down. You know what I'm saying? And
with the kids in the back seat, you okay with that?
It's on the radio. I can turn on 106 and whatever that radio station is, and it's on there. Pooh Shiesty's on there.
Right.
Talking about Get It Back in Blood.
Yeah. Yeah, Lil Uzi and all them. Yeah.
So
I mean, it is on the radio, but where's the responsibility in? I think Shane is saying more women need to take more responsibility in how they move as an adult and how they influence their kids.
Go ahead.
What do you think, Teresa?
I think so. I think that kids, no matter what age they are, they're heavily influenced regardless. But for young girls, it does matter, like what the mother, like even the type of men that you date. Young girls, if they grew up in a household to where they see like their mother abused or being, you know, part of domestic violence or whatever, they 9 out of 10 are going to date a guy that's going to abuse them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's just like a real, you know, statistic. Mm-hmm. Growing up, like my mom and dad, they didn't really shield me from like the real world, but there was things that was not allowed, you know, in our household. Like you might be walking around here cussing, mm-hmm. you know, you're still going to be a kid and do what a kid does. But as far as like music and stuff, it was kind of like certain, like my mom used to listen to Tupac and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, she was like, don't let me hear you cussing around here.
Okay, she was listening to My Visions as a Rider.
She did. I do believe.
She listened to Rome. I don't even remember how young I was. I wasn't supposed to be listening to Sex You Down and stuff by Rome. And R. Kelly's music and stuff. So it's different nowadays though, because when we was younger, we came up on all kind of, you know, music that we probably shouldn't have knew anything about.
The music from our day was feel-good music. It wasn't that violent.
Man, look.
It wasn't, but it still talked about sex, you know.
Betty was singing.
Betty was like woman to woman.
Yes, she was.
And your mama was listening to
Shirley,
it.
And guess what? But guess what we was doing when Betty called Shirley? Guess what the kids and the mama was doing in the house when Betty called Shirley? We was cleaning our asses off. It was motivational clean-up music, feel-good music, even though we didn't get the message at that time. But I think the music today will literally tell a little girl, you got to suck this dick or I'm not fucking with you. Literally. The lyrics are way more explicit than when we were little.
Yeah, rap is way more disrespectful when it comes to like a guy rapping about sex and what he want a woman to do to him. It's way more, you know, it's edgy, you know. Uh-huh. It really is.
I don't really think that, I personally, Teddy Pendergrass said turn off the lights.
And light a candle.
Then I said turn them off.
But that's innocent. Turn the lights off and light a candle.
And so
now they talking about busting this open and
that's what I'm saying. It's more explicit, and so
because that sounds romantic when he say turn off the light and light a candle. We all know what happened when the light go off. What difference does it make? And so
because it was still some kind of
when we were little, we didn't know what the hell that meant.
Right,
all you knew was it was time to clean up. But now, Now
Wasn't
the
so,
words is
blunt
specifically
now.
telling you
Yeah.
what you need to do. You need to turn around, toot it up, boot it up, hoo. You know, it's literally telling you.
But somebody got to pop it. And somebody got to drop it.
But are you supposed to be in that mindset, 8, 9 years old in the backseat with your mama?
I don't think that we can ever stop, artists from making that type of music.
No, we can't.
I think that it depends. You as an individual, like you as a parent, you choose, what you want to allow your kids to listen to or not. Because, like I said, my mom and dad, they didn't shield me from, society. At the same time, my mom had real talks with me. My dad had real talks with me. My dad used to lecture the hell out of us. But I'm glad he did because it paid off.
Right. I mean, because...
But he'll be I ain't raising no hoes.
Right. For real. Because the truth is that your peers have way more leverage on the turnout of a child than the parents.
Shane,
you know what I'm saying? If you're living. And so if you want to protect, that's like, I think it's child abuse for us to keep our children in gang environments. And then expect for them not to indulge in that.
This is a tough one because I feel like whether or not you introduce your kids to something at home, when they go to school, when they go out in society, is different. When we were coming up, there wasn't any social media.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, kids can go to YouTube and they can punch in, a song and they can watch the whole music video, everything. So it doesn't matter if they go to a friend's house to, for a sleepover. They have access to that stuff regardless of if you expose them to it at home or not. But the way my mom and dad was, is I'd rather you hear or see, this at home on the TV and we talk about it, in the house rather than you go out in the streets, you know what I'm saying?
You ever had a book bag with different clothes in it that you wore from home?
No,
and then
I didn't have to do that because
school?
I was real shy anyway about, yeah, so I didn't do that.
But you know how many women did before there was a Megan Thee Stallion? Before
it was girls that would change when they got to school, shorts up in here,
you know what I'm saying? We talking about in the 50s when Elvis Presley was doing the achy breaky.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They would have a separate pair of clothing that they'd wear to school and what they'd leave their house in.
So you're saying it does?
It's human nature. I'm saying
so
it's human nature for women.
I think regardless, even with drugs, of course, drugs they never gonna stop making drugs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to your kid to not use them. It's up to you to talk to your child so whatever a child is gonna be exposed to, they're gonna be exposed to regardless. That's just the world that we live in.
And why is it only women? Shane,
revert the question again, so everybody know what we're talking about.
So what we're talking about is this question. What we're talking about is this question about, Shane Gibson wanted to talk about, women needing to realize how they, take pictures, turn around with their ass out, or the type of music that they listen to, and, who they date heavily influences how their daughters act.
I think
and he was saying that
it's a woman's responsibility to teach her daughter to be a lady and to be respectful.
Well, he was. Yes.
I can see that. I can see.
I think that's what he's trying to say.
Well, I can agree. Yeah. I can agree with that. But at the same time, though, if the women, if we speaking on everybody being perfect, then she should be with the daddy.
It takes a village, anyway.
She should be with the daddy, and so now because everybody's flawed. You know what I'm saying? My mom smoked crack. You know what I'm saying? My other siblings had an issue with it. I didn't have no issue with it. I just see her as a human being because she's a human being.
Okay, she's a human being and
so
she's flawed, but you were never afraid of her dying from it?
Of course. Mm-hmm. But that's her life.
Yeah.
I can't live 3 lives.
You can't.
You know what I'm saying? I can only live one life, and that's mine.
Right.
And so I damn sure can't live my mom's life, and she's an adult.
Did you ever try to stop her?
I mean, of course, we would say something, but man, ain't nobody. She ain't trying to hear that shit. She like, nigga, you a kid, stay in your place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you talking about?
Right.
And so it was just, but my other siblings, would have an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? To where they would get into it, and people, and I was just like, that's my mom.
I'll go to some of the.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead.
And so,
Shell said, I was raised by my, is that, I don't want to, misogynist? Is that what she meant?
A man, he's a misogynist.
I think that's what she
Yeah.
okay. I was raised by my misogynistic daddy. He didn't play none of that. Alicia said it takes a village. It definitely does. Shell said music, video games, social media, it all influences them. It definitely does.
So who got influenced before there was a
Master
video
Sergeant.
game?
Thank you for clearing that up, Shell, because I was like, I know she knows nothing about her.
Oh,
dad.
I thought she said.
Thank you,
okay.
Master Sergeant. Yes, my daddy was in the military also, and he didn't play none of that. But
Hold on. I got a question. Right? What was the excuse before there was video games, music videos, TV, all of these things? They had women. They used to wear scarlet letters because they was prostituting. Or they got accused of committing adultery and sleeping with other people's women. And they was doing all of these things when it wasn't a TV. And they were just sitting there looking at a rock.
I know, but what we're talking about is how today's women are raising their daughters.
Yeah.
And how much they live their adult lives heavily influenced. You know, because a lot of adults be like, I'm an adult. I can listen to what I want to listen to. I could take a picture with my ass out. I could do this and I can do that. But what they're forgetting is that...
say, do as I say and not as I do or whatever.
A preacher says that. That's what the preacher say. The pastor.
Yeah, but again, you hear people running around talking about, I didn't raise my kid to be that way. Well, how in the fuck? Who did? Who did it? Then who did then? If you didn't, who did? You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, there are outside influences, and that is normal, and that's life. And you know, we know that these kids are going to pick up shit, and they're going to be peer pressure. There's going to be a whole bunch of these different, you know, outside realms of their home. But where the structure, the discipline, and the foundation comes from is your home.
True.
That way, you know, when my daughter goes outside of my home, her friends are twerking, they want to turn around, stick their ass out, take a picture, or, you know, they want to, you know, date these toxic niggas. My daughter is the little girl that's like, look, how I was raised was to be healthy and happy. And what you going through and what you doing right now is not going to get you to that realm. If you don't want to be healthy and happy, as your friend, you need to tell me that. I'm going to respect that you want this toxic motherfucker that you saw your mama dating your whole life. I'm going to respect that you want to listen to these explicit lyrics and pop your ass to it and take pictures to it. You know, we just have to get to a level of the responsibility of what the fuck these mothers and fathers are doing in front of their children as adults. It is their right, but we do have to understand that these kids are, you know, looking up to what we're doing, but also the shit is out there more vividly than when we were little.
Okay.
Right.
For sure.
I'll go to
ahead.
some of the comments.
Yeah, read Shane's one.
Shane says, music, video games, social media, even the child's father is out of the mother's control. A woman ain't a superwoman. She can't control the world, but the thing she can control is her actions.
And we get that, Shane.
So
we get that.
So what the bird's supposed to act like?
Who? What bird?
The mom.
Shell says, we give our kids two things, roots and wings. Then we got to pray that they know how to make good decisions in life. That's true.
I can agree with that.
Some parents, you can raise a child, you know, give them the best of everything, the best upbringing, and they can still turn out to be how they want to be.
Yeah, for sure, with the outside influence.
Bill Cosby's son smoked dope and bought prostitutes till he got killed.
Yeah.
Who taught him that?
Yeah. And I think Michael Jordan's daddy got killed for
buying prostitutes.
I think he was gambling.
No, he was on the side of the road. He bought some pussy, and then he fell asleep, and some motherfuckers came along and robbed him.
But are you sure it wasn't gambling debts?
No, I'm not sure. But
okay, so we getting off into some other shit. Okay, but we are going to segue
to the video topic.
Who is that over there?
I don't know. But we're going to segue to a South Carolina resident who is a female, and she pretended that her boyfriend was missing, but she actually killed him. Watch this clip.
Taylor Warhol and her boyfriend Terrell Sims dated on and off for years, and they had a 1-year-old baby. On Taylor's page, you can see her and Terrell doing TikTok trends, dancing, and having a good time. But behind closed doors, it was anything but good. Family members say that their relationship was very volatile, and at one point in time, Terrell even went to jail behind things that were going on in their relationship. After allegations of abuse from Taylor, Terrell ended up going to jail for a little while and getting an ankle monitor. Now, having this ankle monitor, him and Taylor were not supposed to be around each other at all. But family members are saying that Taylor was obsessed with Terrell, and even though he had that ankle monitor on and was not supposed to be around her, she still was around him. Now, Terrell's family is saying that at one point in time, he tried to end this relationship with her, and she told him if she can't have him, no one would. Now, on December 22nd, Taylor is saying that Terrell didn't come home, and she reported him missing. Now, on Facebook, you can see Taylor pleading for her boyfriend's return. She's basically saying she hasn't heard from him in 2 days, but his last location was on Monticello Road. Taylor even tried to organize a search party in order to try to go find her boyfriend. And as you can see in all of these statuses, Taylor is fixated on Monticello Road. Now, Terrell does have a twin sister, and this twin sister is saying the entire time that Terrell was missing, the girlfriend was texting her daily saying that she was crying, just saying that she wanted Terrell back. His twin sister is saying that she knew from the jump that something wasn't adding up and that she felt like Taylor was hiding something. And a few weeks after Terrell went missing, her suspicions would turn up right.
Days after his disappearance, she says that the story kept changing and it just didn't make sense. Terrell Sims' family had been worried sick after his girlfriend Taylor Wardlaw reported him missing on December 22nd. His twin sister says it's not like him to disappear like that.
I grew up with him. This is my twin brother. I know what he do and what he wouldn't do.
Jacob says Wardlaw was calling her multiple times a day, crying and saying how much she missed Sims. She says with each call she became more and more suspicious of Wardlaw, with the details of her brother's disappearance not adding up.
I guess she felt like I believed everything she was saying. So she really kept confiding in me. And little did she know, every time she was just confiding in me, it was just her just telling on herself, little by little.
Wardlaw even organized a search for her boyfriend in the same area where police discovered his body earlier this week on Monticello Road. In a shocking turn of events, Columbia police arrested Wardlaw yesterday. Police have charged her with murder. According to investigators, Wardlaw shot Sims multiple times.
You know, the shocker in it was how you sit on the phone with me crying, hard down, crying. You know, before she got arrested, she was just crying on the phone with me.
Losing her twin...
Yo.
I'm sorry. Okay, y'all. So when we talk about, these domestic violence issues, usually it's predominantly a man's issue to kill. And so I believe that since she was a female and she reported him missing, a lot of people really didn't count her as a suspect like they do men. Right. Now, when men report women missing,
you're at the top
they
of the list.
are the number one suspect.
Right.
And so with this man's twin sister, now she keep calling me. Now she didn't change her story, and then they end up finding out that she actually did kill this man. So my question to you guys and to Treese and LV is, when men come up missing, why aren't women the first suspect to be the killers? Go ahead, Treese.
I would have to say, like, in domestic violence situations, you're right, it's like predominantly, most of the time the man is known to be like the aggressor in the situation, not the woman. That does happen. It was like somewhere in the UK recently, there was a rapper that was cut up and killed.
Oh.
Yeah, just here recently. within the past couple of weeks in the UK, a rapper that was cut up and killed
By a woman?
by his girlfriend.
Oh my
Bad
God.
old lady, yeah.
He cheated with one of his fans, and she cut his body up.
Well, here go the thing though. The truth is that a lot of women are aggressive and get to talking about you playing with my emotions, you playing with my heart. It's just not reported because the man don't tell when the woman hit him upside the head with a motherfucking bottle, or when the woman go grabs a knife and tell him I kill you and wake him up out of his sleep. You know what I'm saying? With a knife up over him, talking about you're hurting me, you're hurting his family, I kill you. Man don't report it. You know what I'm saying? But it goes on. You know what I'm saying? You got men that are attacked by women. I would say more than men abuse women. Men are abused
more than
by women more than women is by men.
Right, I guess it's
That's
not
a lie.
reported. It's not,
Shit.
well, it's probably not reported as much as women report.
That's
and
a lie.
I know you would kick a motherfucker
That's a lie.
ass.
No, you don't.
You would kick a
No,
motherfucker
you
ass.
don't.
I can
No,
look
you
at you and
don't.
tell.
No, you
You
don't.
kick a
You
motherfucker
don't
ass.
know that.
No, I don't, because I ain't never seen you kick
But
nobody
it
ass.
does happen, but typically, like for most guys,
Have you ever
when,
kicked a
Hold
man
on.
ass?
So Vic Evans said he is a victim. He's a victim. You know, why do guys underreport? If you wake up with a knife at your throat, why don't y'all call the police?
Because I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because you're wrong. You probably need the knife up against your neck.
Ooh,
No, when the
whoa.
police arrive,
Murder?
it is a natural thing. When the police arrive, majority of the time, they're going to go and talk to the woman, and they're going to make the man out to be the aggressor automatically when the police arrive.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a fact.
I mean,
Or you
men
don't
are
think it's-
physically
I mean,
stronger.
but you feel with
What, Leland?
Pookie down the block ain't supposed to call the police.
No, I'm just saying,
Pookie,
you know, why are you
the
guys
street
under
dude
reporters? Why
can't-
are you guys
hold on.
under reporters?
Because the street dude can't call the police. The only thing the street dude can do is to take the water, splash, bloom, splash water, grease. I know motherfuckers that are doing grease on motherfuckers.
Wow.
And rice and grits and all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Andrea Lynn says it's probably 50-50. And that's true. Shell says, I'm gone even if I have to flinch from someone. And that's right.
Who said that?
Shell. She said, I'm gone if I even have to flinch from someone. And that's true. Like,
Where you go?
I don't play that domestic violence crap.
Or do you do it vice versa though?
Hell no. You know, I'm soon to be 36 years old this month. And it's not all men that's gonna walk away. So if you put your hands on somebody, you gotta expect that somebody will floor your
Get your
ass.
clock clean. Some motherfuckers need that clock clean.
For real.
You know
like,
what I'm saying?
I'm personally like I just
You want somebody to clean
go ahead, Leland, go ahead.
You want somebody to clean your clock?
Listen, you know, here's the thing. You know, I just want, you know, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Listen, if you are man or woman, if you are waking up to a knife in your neck, hot water on your face, hot grease on your stomach, sledgehammer in your back, don't go back.
Look, here go the thing.
But
Women-
you got it. Some people. My bad.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Because you had me get your clock clean. But some people also are in situations where, I mean, I think what the issue becomes, some people, it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
And so mentally, that person has their mind, they can't leave.
So they're
Also,
mentally
the number-
imprisoned, is what
Right,
you're
and
saying,
then-
by this person they think they love.
The other thing is finances. Sometimes people feel like they
Yeah.
can't afford to leave. 'Cause
Slave
they're like,
marriage is a big thing.
yeah, some people feel like, well, some women feel like if I put him out, I can't pay all
right,
this rent and everything
right,
by myself.
right.
So I think it's that. Then the third thing is like people have kids together and they feel like I want my family to stay together. I don't want, to be a single parent or not,
Yeah. Slave marriage plays a big part in a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because even before you even get out the door to even explore manhood or your
you know what? And
womanhood.
speaking to this issue with this South Carolina woman, I do believe the slave marriage mentality was definitely a big part in their relationship, because he actually went to jail over a domestic violence dispute that they had, and so he was out on probation. So he did have an ankle bracelet, and so they were not supposed to be around each other at all. And so I do believe that enslaved mentality, or that mental imprisonment when you're with somebody you think you love, is kind of, playing a big part in the abuse.
It definitely becomes toxic.
I mean, but before you leave, before you jump off the porch, right, you start looking at what can the partner provide enable for me to jump off this porch. We don't look at relationships as, okay, I like her, I like him. The first thing you're thinking of is, who gonna go half on this rent?
Yeah.
Who gonna go half on this car note? Who gonna be able to go half on these lights, gas, food? You know what I'm saying? And for me and us to live comfortably.
Right.
It don't even matter the behavior of the man. That comes second or even possibly third.
Right. When some people are in that situation, they're thinking about survival, and that's it. Like, I'm just trying to
I'm gonna tell you something about survival. If you're thinking about financial survival, there are ways of figuring that out. But
there are domestic violence shelters, all kind of stuff.
There is. But you need to be thinking about emotional trauma survival. That should be your first survival tactic, because you're not about to
deal with your bullshit. What man can deal with you arguing, or if they piss on the toilet seat and you get
Why
mad?
you always bring up the toilet seat? What the fuck is up with the toilet seat? Do you have that issue in your home?
I piss on it on purpose.
But I'm just saying, you bring up the toilet seat all the time.
On purpose.
And real quick,
leave
since we are discussing domestic violence, I want to drop the National Domestic Violence Hotline. That's 1-800-799-7233. 1-800-799-SAFE, or you can always dial 911 if you're in a domestic violence situation. Recently, what I learned too is when you go to the doctor's office, if you go in the bathroom, there's a red pen and there's a black pen, and if you write something in red, it kind of alerts.
That's the flag.
It kind of alerts that you may be a victim of domestic violence. Mm-hmm. I had no idea.
Look, if I beat a bitch up, I ain't taking her to the emergency. I just ain't doing that.
Vic said, so Vic as a male, Vic Evans said, I've been in a slave relationship. He said, beating in treatment now.
Man, he just trolling. You can't.
He might be in treatment. I don't know.
Can't even talk.
But Brandy said, I think the emotional goes along with the financial at times, and that can go hand in hand about, survival and stuff like that. But
You okay now?
Yes, I am okay. I lost my train of thought of what I was about to say about domestic violence, because you got me fucked up with this toilet seat. Always talking about this toilet seat, just pissing on it on purpose. You know what? That's not small. That's intentional. That's emotional abuse. If a motherfucker tell you they got a problem with you doing something, and you need to balance your emotional happiness with your partner, you need to meet them halfway. Listen.
Marking my territory.
You gonna mark your territory and piss outside. That's what you gonna do.
Or what
That's what the fuck you gonna do. That's what you gonna do.
You gonna hit me?
Let's segue this into. Let's segue. We're gonna segue to our third topic. So SZA was talking about, why do men leave the woman that helped them? SZA said, why do men leave the woman that molded him and got him on his game for someone else? Go ahead, Teresa.
She said, how does one become the girl that gets the guy after he's changed for the better versus the one that changed him? Versus the one, sorry, the caption keeps popping up. Versus the one that changed him, can those ever be the same? So she's saying that how does a woman put all this hard work and effort into a man, and then he goes off and he's better for someone else, and her efforts are just Who want to go first?
You go.
ahead.
You go.
Y'all go
Trace.
ahead.
I mean, do you think it's
Y'all want
fair?
me to go?
Hey.
Because the truth is that his options changed. And so, once your options change, and the caliber of woman that
Why
you
did
can
the
get,
options change?
because he changed. And
So,
regardless of how he changed,
Do you think the level of success changed him, or?
success, money, status, anything. And so, if I'm with a motherfucker and I'm in high school, and now I'm an NBA star, and I got these models.
LeBron kept his bitch.
And he also fucking other bitches. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
And
not
that
sure
ain't
about that.
Shit. Come on, man. That's
I'm not
LeBron
sure.
James, man.
I'm not sure.
Oh, Vic. Vic said the cat wasn't getting hot enough. Okay. I'll go ahead and kind of jump into it. Well, all right.
Go ahead.
I think for some people, like when they marry young, you are with somebody through all of their mistakes. You grow with that person through all they fuck ups and all that. And so it's like towards the end, you burnt out, you tired of each other. You done been with somebody for 10 years plus. And so by the time like the man or the woman realizes like all the mistakes that they made and they try to correct them, the damage is already done. So by then you tired of each other and you let go. You want something new. You tired of trying after 10 plus years and you go to somebody else. You like, now I got it figured out. Some people we experience. Not everybody that you get in a relationship with you gonna be with for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
What are relationships that you just marry or be with the first person that you met for the rest of your life? Like we experience people and if you don't end up being with a person like long term, it's a lesson. And you gotta,
A Maserati is a Maserati. Whether it's a 2010 or 2021, you're going to get the same thing regardless of the female. The only thing that changes is the caliber of the female. You're going to get the cattiness, you're going to get the arguing, you're going to get the pouting, you're going to get the baby shit, you're going to get the spoiled shit. You're going to get that regardless
I
of
agree
what.
somewhat, Leland, but sometimes I can honestly say that for the other party, you have to let a person be nice. Let a person love you. Sometimes you can get with somebody and they can bring out the worst in you. I mean the absolute worst. Let people be good to you sometimes. Some people just aren't good together and that's just it. I can't say that, oh, you got left because you was nagging or you was bitching. No, she's nagging and she's bitching for a reason. Now, some women just can't be satisfied.
Because the toilet seat.
Some women cannot be satisfied. In that case, you know that you just don't mesh well. You're just not for each other. But overall, like I don't get mad if somebody want to jump track because I feel like you experience people and then it's over. It's done.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something right now. When you meet somebody and they have nothing, not even a car, not even a driver's license, and you are, whether you male or female, but Scissor was saying, the men.
Right.
And the woman in the relationship may be a little bit more of a go-getter than the man that doesn't have a car, a job, or a driver's license.
Okay.
And so she gets him motivated to go out and get these things. He successfully gets these things, and then he forgets about her.
Well, here go the thing. So the man that did not have a car, driver license, none of this shit, he's in mobile. He gets the car, driver license. Now he's looking.
Now he's mobile.
Now he's seeing women now.
But why
At first
is
he was just in the house. First he was just in the house.
But why is he forgetting
Because
how he
he
got
don't know. Because he don't know what's available. You don't know what's available to you until you get up there.
But
and
you have
see
to
it.
respect the person who helped you attain and get these things. I don't think it's fair for men
I
to
appreciate
acquire all this stuff
So,
off of the back of a woman.
He's indebted.
And then, I'm not going to say indebted, but what I'm saying is when you do need to part ways because it's a mutual thing, that's fine. But don't get a car, a driver's license, an education. Now your bank account looking good. Now your motherfucking ass is dressing better. Now you smelling better. Now you out here smelling your motherfucking self off of the back of a woman who believed in you when you didn't have a fucking thing.
I think, though, that we all have to hold ourselves accountable when it comes to that. What it really boils down to is know how much time you are willing to invest into someone. That's it.
Because
that's it.
You're gonna put your stamp on whatever that.
Because because you in a relationship at will. So at any point, if you feel like I'm giving more than I'm getting, or this is too much for me, and he's not reciprocating it, and it's one-sided, you can leave. You gotta know how much. Are you gonna keep putting money into a slot machine if it ain't hitting?
So Randall said people need to stop taking scores and expecting it back.
And Randall, that is so true. I can say that, and I don't like to publicly talk about some things. I'm gonna be very general, okay? But in the past, I've done things, for people that I've loved and cared for.
That you loved and cared for, and
it was
believed
not
in.
Reciprocated. And before,
what you do?
I didn't tally it up. No, I didn't tally it up because believe me, I didn't tally it up. Nope, believe me, when you do something for somebody, they're not gonna forget. Especially if this person ran out of gas or they didn't have food in their house or whatever. They might not acknowledge it and be like, dang, you really looked out. They don't forget when you do things for them. So it's not anything that you got to throw back in somebody's face. I had to learn that because I would get mad and be like, you treated me like shit, but I did this and that for you.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
People know what you've done for them. What's going to hurt them even more is take that away. Quit dealing with them and leave them alone.
So you going about your business.
Because people fall in love, what they say, people fall in love with your hand and not your heart. If you just keep giving. Mm-hmm. So you got it. So if you don't take from me and you don't respect me, cool, I'm done.
But now that the motherfucker, listen, now that the motherfucker up here with everything.
He got choices.
And so now he got choices.
Because I'm not saying
but guess what those choices are, the majority of the choices is a bitch that's ready to take me what that motherfucker got.
I feel like this. If I go and buy you a Gucci belt or whatever, I'm not saying that you have to buy something of equal value. Me, the act itself, just you saying thank you. I don't care if you go and buy me some Bath and Body Works or whatever. It doesn't have to be of equal value, but just even if you say I appreciate you, I love you. Even if it's some $5 bouquet of flowers in a car.
So you buying a Gucci belt for your man to look good, right?
No, I ain't never bought no man no Gucci, but I'm just,
shit. I'm gonna fuck with a belt period. Some niggas walk around with their ass on, with their pants at their ankle. You know what I'm saying? So you buy the belt to make the man presentable. For you, right? Mm-hmm. But that also make him presentable to another woman. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You buy the cologne for him to smell good because you like it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he no longer just smell good for you.
Mm-hmm. I understand that. Listen, woman. When I'm in a relationship with somebody.
When you get something, though, that's just it. Like, you mean, like, you saying, like, oh, you buy cologne, you gonna smell good for. I don't look at it that way. If you give something from the kindness of your heart and that's something that you picked out for that person and you want them to have, like, that's just it. Mm-hmm. I'm not looking at like, oh, he putting that cologne on for somebody else.
Smell it, though.
I don't give a fuck about being the only one that can smell it, the only one that can see it.
Like that, like, oh, somebody else
I'm just like, no, motherfucker, you gonna get your ass up, you gonna start looking good, you gonna be clean, you gonna be doing this because you're a reflection of me at this time, regardless if we work out or not.
Is somebody that wants to be kept, and really what it boils down to,
but
it doesn't matter.
Don't no man one woman. Y'all are mistaken.
What it boils down to.
Y'all are mistaken if you think that a man wants one woman.
What it boils down to is this.
You think a man wants one woman?
You can never do enough for somebody that has bad intentions. That's just it. If that person don't have good intentions off the rip and they not a solid person, they gonna look at you like you a trick and you to be played with.
Oh wow!
But
Everybody.
When it's a
told.
man that really is genuine and he gonna be like, I love this woman because when didn't nobody else have my back,
That's
this woman
all
was
I'm
there.
saying. Where are
But
those
you gotta
men
know
at?
because you gotta know
They
when you're
don't
dealing with
exist.
somebody with the right intentions. You're gonna know.
They don't exist.
They do. They do.
Where?
I ain't even got one yet, but they exist.
Man, you got women out here a half a century in the game. And they
Dude,
found this man.
You said a half a century.
For real, for real. You got women out here a half a century in the game. And still ain't found this magical guy.
There is no magical guy. There's
Nobody
no magical
you're
human
not gonna
being,
find
period.
perfect ever. You won't find
How long
perfect.
you been in the game?
How old am I?
Well, no, you ain't got to reveal that. I never asked a woman age,
Oh,
or that's rude. I just asked how long you been in the game. You can just
Oh, like the dating game, you mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I
Like,
mean-
actively looking for a partner.
3 decades,
oh shit, a long time.
4 decades,
Yeah, a long time.
and you still ain't found that man.
No.
Who you think he
You
is?
know, I haven't found the right partner, not because,
Where he at?
but
Where
no,
he at?
not because men want multiple women. That's not why I'm not in a relationship. The main reason I'm not in a relationship is because of temper flare-ups. Okay, I have a very, very bad temper.
So you toxic.
I am toxic. I have a very bad temper. I'm very impatient, and I don't like a lot of bullshit.
So are you an aggressive, toxic? Have you ever been charged with domestic violence?
Yes, I have, and I told the panel that before. I told the panel that I've gone to jail for it. I don't know what the fuck is so funny, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I have not, I haven't found the partner. Listen, I haven't found the partner, to be married and all that, settled down and stuff, because I'm still trying to figure out how. I don't beat. I don't beat him up. I definitely take up for myself. But I probably take up for myself a little bit too far. Okay? But what I'm saying is, fuck. I'm not in a relationship because the shit goes down. I'm just saying, don't fuck me.
The time that, but I can say the time that I was not in a relationship, when I had a chance to really sit and evaluate myself, and I had to think to myself, you think because you cute and you got your shit together and everything that you're the top pick. You're not. You got some shit that's wrong with you too that you need to fix.
Motherfucker go down 24th and see a prostitute walk, a crackhead.
But I
walking the stroll.
Alicia
things
Giffen
that I
said
needed to fix.
Men who want one woman do exist. She is
They
married.
do. I had things that
Alicia Giffen, Shane Giffen's wife.
That's why they married. Because she believe that bullshit.
Oh, Nikki says a low tolerance
That's
for
why
bullshit
she
is wrong.
married.
Speak on it.
Because she
That's
believe
true.
that.
Nikki, thank you.
Here's the thing, though. I have a low
That's my
tolerance for
sister.
BS. I got a low tolerance for BS too, but I had to fix the things that was wrong with me first that would trigger a man. Like when I was younger,
How many men you beat up?
none. Absolutely none.
Okay.
Stab.
I'm
No,
glad.
I never
Stab.
Yeah, I'm
Hell
glad for you.
Threaten.
I'm glad for you.
But
Threaten. She lying.
no.
She
You
lying.
never threatened a man before?
Yo.
I
Next,
don't think so. But the thing that I had to fix with myself,
Who is that man over there?
learning how to talk, learning how to talk to people, learning how to communicate, all that. I can agree with Nikki though. I got a low tolerance for BS, and so for me, that's why the red flags they be putting on Facebook, that shit is real.
Yeah.
When I see a red flag, you're out of there.
Yeah.
I'm not about to entertain something that I know I don't want or that don't work for my lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you're not even gonna get me to that level of being angry with you because
Yeah.
you just gonna be out of
You
there.
just gonna
Yeah,
so you don't argue.
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah.
Now
If you say one more motherfucking
Arguments.
time, you know what I'm saying? Shit.
Don't get me wrong.
Teresa, I'm not buying this shit. I am not buying this shit.
Now you talking about since we doing the 10-year
Damn.
challenge. if you're talking about old Treese and new, and I ain't gonna say new, but old Treese and the current Treese, yeah, that's two different people. Yeah. Like I said, back then I had to learn how to speak to a man. I had to learn that some things are triggers for men. You can't treat a man like a bitch. You can't treat him like a boy. You cannot talk to him like he's down here, you know?
I can feel that. Yeah. Okay. I can feel that. Well, we got one more. We getting that last one in? Y'all want to get that last one in?
So the last topic of the day is Joe Manchin, which is a West Virginia senator. Okay. And what he did was, you know, his nickname is Maserati Manchin. Okay, his last name is Manchin. But the guy said that he was going to back the Build Back Better bill that Joe Biden is, you know, trying to pass. It's like $1.4 trillion. So what?
Joe Byron. Sorry, I just had to say it.
Who?
Joe Biden. Yeah.
Byron.
So President Biden, I should say.
Oh, okay.
So what it does is it offers the child tax credit payments monthly instead of just at tax time. And then it was like 85,000 West Virginians that it actually would have helped with rent, and there was a lot of veteran stimulus money too, and there was a whole bunch of other things that will help the poor people. And I'm not just going to say black people, but help the poor people of West Virginia. So at first he was saying he was going to back it, but they found evidence that he has been against it the whole time and just being, just underhanded. We do have a little snapshot of what they think about Joe Manchin. Check this out.
What's that?
Let's get on there. Is it on there? Okay.
No, that's Joe Manchin versus what that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, I just want to talk to you guys about that so that you do understand who these politicians are, what they go for, and you got to kind of research, who they are and how much money they have, because a lot of the richer politicians, they are not going to, be for the people, the poor people and stuff like that. So that's why I want you guys to be aware of who you vote for, who they are, how much money they have, and look into other political affiliates that they, been into. What you think, LV?
Well, my thing is this. The individuals that are in politics, they have an agenda.
For sure.
And that's just period. And so that's the same way, probably 3 years ago, maybe longer, but within the last 5 to 7 years, I can't carry a bottle of Hennessy. I get an open container. But if you go to a restaurant and buy a bottle of wine, you can take that wine home with you.
Sure can.
You know what I'm saying?
You sure can.
And the police pull you over, and you won't get charged with an open container. And that because the people that will go buy wine are in them positions to make sure that
for sure
all their bases is covered.
So you're saying more of the poor people need to start getting in those positions,
or attempt
to get in there?
But it costs money to run.
Oh yeah, it do. Yeah. You got to have a lot of sponsors.
And so these motherfuckers be sitting up. Barack Obama raised $100 million.
Yes, he
did. Well, how the fuck you raised $100 million when we're $100 million in debt?
Yes, he did.
Where you getting the money from?
Yeah, I want to know that too. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck these campaigns be raising all this goddamn money, because I'm like,
he raised
where are the sponsors at?
John McCain, so whoever the fuck he raised $100 million.
Trump,
where's these millions of dollars coming from?
All their buddies, I guess. Okay,
go ahead.
Nikki says, he's a typical politician. None of them are for us. If poverty doesn't exist, they wouldn't be in power. That's true. Shell has a question. FYI, it's not really related, but we can get to it in the end. Is it normal to want another baby at the age of 49, asking for a friend?
That's not normal.
Do your transmission work?
That's not normal.
Hold on. If the transmission's still going forward.
Well, Shell Shell, thank you, because we don't jump right on into it, Shell.
Time out. If your transmission still go in forward and reverse, there's nothing wrong with it.
We're having a baby at 49?
Hell no.
A woman?
Hell no.
Shit.
Well, the only thing that may be wrong
It's
with
harder
it
on,
is that there may be birth defects.
anyway, and so it's going to be harder on your body after.
Because once a woman reaches 35, then them having a chance, them having a chance of having a child with Down syndrome increases.
It is. It does.
So there are. So, but if your biological clock is still ticking at 49 and that transmission go forward and backward.
Shell said, "I want that tax money." Who you telling, Shell? I'm trying to have a set of twins.
Hold on, time out.
I need the tax.
That tax, fuck the tax money. That 30, you gonna spend 17,000 and get to 6,000. The fuck you mean? You hustling backwards. That's a backwards hustle. Hold on, time out. That's
Really,
a backwards hustle.
You wait all
I
year
can't
to
see.
get 3,500.
Shell got me blocked. Who's Shell? She got me blocked.
What?
She got me because I can't see her thing on here.
Shell from?
Who?
Her name is Shell from.
Yeah, she got me blocked. I don't know what I did to you,
Shell.
Shell.
You blocked
Shell, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to you.
Randall said, "Talk to them, LV."
Because it's the truth. You hustling backwards. You want $60,000. You want $6,000 income check when your motherfucking rent gonna be. You got a 1 bedroom. You have a baby. You're gonna have to get a 2 bedroom, and so that's gonna go from 500 to 1,200.
Yeah, 1 to 5-year-olds. They
Shell
saying
said, "I don't
that.
have nobody blocked."
You got me blocked, boo. I can't see you.
Yeah,
I don't even know she's there. Hold on, time. She's playing.
They
Y'all
do
playing
say
the game.
they do say
No,
1
it's
to
not
5-year-old kids. It takes at least 46,000 a year
To take care of one?
to raise them.
You living in poverty.
One.
And so you have
one.
one, and you making $18, $19 an hour.
Yeah.
Which roughly you would make $36,000 a year around there. You living in poverty.
Sure. I said 60,000 is poverty. I don't know why they don't. They need to change it.
You living
They
in
do.
poverty.
They need to change it. But y'all, you know, it's been a good show. We're gonna get up out of here. We're gonna wrap this
we
up.
Still got 6
and
minutes
we're gonna wrap this up. Treese, you got something you want to say to the people?
I will plug the domestic violence hotline again. That's 1-800-799-SAFE.
Okay.
1-800-799-7233. You can always dial 911.
Oh yeah, 911. Go ahead, LV.
Hey, look, y'all stop throwing water on motherfuckers and mind your business. Stop going through the nigga phone, then he won't get upset and have to pretend that he mad. But I appreciate being a guest on the ladies' show.
Yeah, we appreciate having you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all accepting me on. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all already see me 2 times a week. Now y'all got 3 of them things. You know what I'm saying? But I'm humble. Smart young ladies. Beautiful young women.
Thank you,
You know
LV.
what I'm saying? And I'm
you.
gracious to be able to be on your platform.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming through.
Thank you.
So, you know, I just want to let everybody know the week is coming up. Everybody get to your grind, get out there, research what you need to do to be happy and healthy. Definitely go after your shit.
Well, this is the... Go ahead.
Don't let nobody stop you from going after your shit.
I got a question.
Yes, I didn't have a New Year's resolution, but I did recently start juicing, and it has been a really good experience.
Has it?
Yes.
I used to juice. I used to take beet juice.
That's what I'm. Yep. That's what I've been juicing. I tried a green juice today, but that beet juice, I felt like I had drank like 3 cups of. I had so much energy.
Oh, really?
I was so alert.
Really?
No brain fog.
I got.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all my nigga
You don't run this show.
friends. Come on.
You the host. Fuck around with this nigga.
Listen. Okay, LV, go. What?
All right. So, New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in them. I don't do them. I'm going to do the same shit 72 hours ago that I did 72 hours before. It's make believe.
Yeah.
You can't change in 2 days.
You
been doing.
You can't change it 2 days. It's an active thing. It's a daily thing.
I'll be dropping
Here come
a video
our producer,
tonight
Anthony.
And then whenever you want to have a show without the producer all up in the motherfucking video, Without the nigga all up in the motherfucking screen. Come to death row. Come to death row.
Everywhere, I got messages saying, what's up with the show? One to where you still got kids writing essays on. 472. Shout out to Chris, he came through, came back there. And you go, okay. And she said,
Okay, he done. He touched it. It's not money, baby. They don't need cash in their hands. Right. So now